Hey guys, this is Ush from Ush Push Fitness. I have with me Gilly. She did one of my programs back in, I think it was April this year, a 3-month transformation program. So, Gilly, welcome to your interview and thank you for taking the time out to chat to me today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, tell people what you do for a living, and then kind of why you decided to take up an online coaching program and what made you approach me. Okay, so Gilly, take it away.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gilly. I am 39 and I've got two young children. And I started working full time as a primary school teacher just after my second child. So the reason I got in touch with Ush for this program was because it was online, which appealed to me, and meant that I could tailor it to fit my needs in terms of time, which was limited, and the fact that I don't go to the gym, so I could do things at home as well.
Okay. So, what was going on in your life at that moment when you decided to contact me? Because obviously, I know, we've known each other for a good few years now, and I know that you're into your running and your swimming and your yoga. So, what made you go, actually, I need something more? What was going on?
So it was really just that I was really struggling to lose my extra weight after my second child, and just felt like I didn't have enough focus. So I was doing lots of swimming and yoga still, but what I really wanted wasn't so much to lose weight actually, although I did lose weight. It was more to just tone up, and I felt that I needed somebody else to support me with the program to do that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And hang on a minute. So you did a 3-month transformation program with me, okay, or a 3-month kind of Kickstarter program. So what happened during that time?
We started, and initially I found it a little bit tricky to find the time to do it, and partly that was because I wasn't getting very much sleep,
Yeah.
because my youngest wasn't sleeping. But for me, the fact that we had those weekly calls, and you did a lot of texting and encouragement in that way, and because I felt like I was working towards the call each week, I enjoyed and tried to make time for those sessions.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I found it a little bit more difficult. And I can remember cycling to work after the first like 3 sessions and my thighs burning and thinking, but yeah, I could see quite quickly the changes in my energy levels and
Yeah.
in my fitness.
Okay.
Because while I had been swimming a lot, I hadn't been doing any weight building exercises or strengthening exercises.
Yeah. Okay.
And and I noticed the difference in my swimming in terms
Okay.
of being stronger
Wow.
as well. So being able to being fitter in swimming as well.
Okay.
And yeah, and I noticed the weight coming off. Although overall I only lost I think 4 or 5 kilos.
You
But
say only, but that's £9.
no, that's still something. No, it was good. I was happy with it. Which meant that obviously I could fit into my clothes again, which was nice. But I noticed just a change in the way that I looked, which was a change in how I felt as well.
Yeah. Yeah, your waistline changed quite dramatically. So you came in and got quite muscular in your abdominal area, which was amazing actually for only losing, say, 4 kilos, right?
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. So did you find that the accountability and the support was what you expected, or was it completely different to what you expected?
So it was probably slightly more than I expected in some ways because
So
so
dark.
I remember uploading. So I don't think I fully understood it in the beginning. I didn't realise that you also saw the photos. For
Right.
some reason I thought maybe they were just for me on there. And I remember getting a text from you once saying, "Oh my God, look at your photos," and which was actually really nice because otherwise I'm sort of, I think I was showing pictures to Sam being like, "Look, can you see the difference from this one to this one?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, sure." And so it was really nice when you sent that, because it was quite a big boost. And then because you have that boost, you want to keep going.
Yeah.
And do more.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, probably that was more, like, because you sent a lot of text, a lot of encouragement, and then the phone call as well. So that was probably more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I really liked the app. That was probably better than I was expecting as well, because I wasn't really sure what to expect from that, but I thought it worked really well.
Cool. Awesome. And so since making this change and this transformation, what's changed in your life? Has anything changed in your life?
Well, I think a bit more about, because that was another thing. So nutritionally, I feel like I'm good in terms of knowing what's good and healthy for me and what works for me. But one of the things that we talked about as well was just portion sizes. And I remember you asking questions, which were quite simple questions. And one of them was, do you eat your kids' leftovers? And I said, no, of course I don't. And then the next day I realised I do eat my kids' leftovers. And that was something I could then sort of straight away be like, right, I'm not doing this anymore. I realised I was doing it. But
Yeah.
if you hadn't have asked it, I might not have. I mean, eventually I might have realised that might have been the reason why I wasn't losing weight. But it wasn't something I was sort of thinking was bad that I was doing. I don't like waste, so I'll just eat what they do. And then
Exactly. And you're not a rubbish bin, you're not a waste bin. Like if a child leaves like half a fish finger, it's half a fish finger, but it's about 100 calories, right? So, and I know we weren't calorie counting because you didn't want to calorie count, so we did it in a very good way, but it still adds up. And at the end of the day, without realizing, you were actually calorie counting to your own kind of, personalized needs. Yeah.
So that
Cool.
was the other thing for me that was good about it, was that you changed bits according to what I wanted. So I didn't want to calorie count, so we changed to do something different. And part of that was the thinking about the amounts, which I really liked. Thinking about the portion sizes to do with the hand sizes. So that worked well.
Amazing. I feel like I'm getting darker and darker.
Yeah, I think you might be.
Let's just move it this way a little bit. Okay, cool. So, right. So it's actually quite difficult to put a price on what you've accomplished. Okay. You've learned stuff about nutrition. You've introduced resistance-based training into your life. You've changed the way you eat, plus potentially the way your husband and your family eats as well by just cooking slightly differently, right? So, as I said, it's hard to put a price on this, but what kind of value would you put on the program and what you've achieved?
So I don't know about the value. I can't think of an exact value.
Yeah.
But in terms of making me feel good about myself, it was for me the perfect time for that to happen. And that's kind of really important.
Yeah.
that that it gave me confidence and energy, and made me feel good about myself again. And then obviously that is all of those things that I can take away with and use. So I don't know exactly how to put that into an actual value.
I don't think you can really, can you?
No, but just that it was, for me it was important at that time, and that now I feel like I've got lots of different exercises and different ideas that I can use for myself.
Okay. So it's been a couple of months since we've worked together. So have you kept this up? What's been going on? Have you kept the food up as well?
So I have, so now I'm training for a triathlon.
Yay!
Yay! So I'm not doing so much of the strength training because I've been running instead. Although what I have noticed from that is that I'm not as toned as I was when I was doing the strength training. So as soon as my triathlon is finished in a week, I'm going to go back to those exercises again, because I really notice the difference with them. In terms of the toning, and also just generally feeling strong. So for me, I prefer those types of exercises to the running.
Yeah.
So I will go back to doing that. And generally I've kept up with the food. I think I'm slightly coming to the end of term, and I'm being slightly less good about it. But I've got it in my head and know what I need to do.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. So for anyone who's in your position, say a teacher or a mother or anyone in professional capacity who's thinking about working on their health, what would your advice be to them about jumping on a program and potentially working with me?
So I would definitely recommend it, and I have recommended it to some people, and whether or not they've got on board with it yet, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it works really well if you are somebody who, well, I'm sure it works very well if you also want to go to the gym, but I think it works particularly well if you're, you don't have a lot of time,
Mhm.
because you can, we tailored a program for me that was sort of a 25-minute program with a warm up and then 20 minutes of exercises and a little warm down, which was completely doable when you've got two kids and you're rushing to go to work as well. Um, so I think, yeah, if people want to do something, and they want to get fitter and healthier, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
And
And
I
it,
think,
yeah,
I
and it
think,
was nice that it fit around. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
I was going to say it was nice that you had your 4 or 5 workouts a week, but you fit them into whenever you wanted them. You didn't have to meet me in the gym, or
exactly.
exactly, and that worked quite well for you, right?
Yeah, and then because we reviewed it as well, so when we had those conversations every week, we then reviewed what was going well, what was working, and yeah, because initially the first week it was too long and I couldn't fit it in, and so then you said take out these exercises or do that instead, and then for the second month we made it much shorter in a different style of exercises. So I like the fact that we could, we were reviewing it and we changed it.
Amazing. So, what's next for you? Continue with the fitness,
Yep. Yeah.
get that
So I'm
triathlon done.
So once the triathlon's done, do that, and then yeah, and then I'll just continue with the swimming and the yoga, and go back to my strength training.
Amazing. So I love that you found a new passion for strength training. So any parting words for anybody watching?
Sign up with us.
On that note,
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time, Gilly,
you're very
and
welcome.
we will catch up soon.
Definitely.